The same Great Hall on Kepler 442b that had witnessed the signing of the false peace treaty 3 weeks earlier now hosted a very different gathering. The alien delegates who had once sat proudly in their ornate chairs now stood in simple formations, their elaborate ceremonial clothing replaced by the practical garments of defeated peoples. Ambassador Park Hye-jin entered the chamber with quiet confidence, her posture straight and her expression calm. Gone was the hopeful diplomat who had seemed so eager for peace. In her place stood a representative of the galaxy's new dominant power, carrying documents that would reshape civilization itself. Behind her walked Admiral Kim Dae-ho, his uniform bearing new insignia that reflected his expanded authority. The man who had once sat quietly, while aliens plotted humanity's downfall now, commanded fleets that controlled every major star system within 100 light-years of Earth. The alien leaders watched in silence as the humans took their places at the center of the hall. Primarch Veltar, his purple skin now pale with defeat, kept his eyes downcast. Queen Zixara's compound eyes flickered nervously as she tried to understand how completely her species had been outmaneuvered. Dr. Choi So-young sat with the human delegation, her simple appearance hiding one of the most brilliant intelligence minds in the galaxy. Her 3 years of patient observation had provided the foundation for humanity's overwhelming victory. Now she would help design the peace that would last for generations. "We gathered today to establish a new order," Park Hye-jin began, her voice carrying absolute authority. "The previous treaty was based on deception and betrayal. This new agreement will be based on truth and mutual understanding of our respective positions." She gestured to Admiral Kim Dae-ho, who activated a holographic display showing the current military situation. Every alien homeworld appeared in red, surrounded by blue markers representing human fleets. The message was clear without being threatening. Resistance was impossible. "The Terra Accords will establish permanent peace through strength," Park Hye-jin continued. "Humanity will assume responsibility for galactic security, trade regulation, and conflict resolution. All member species will benefit from this protection, while contributing to the common welfare." The terms were comprehensive and non-negotiable. Alien species would maintain their cultures and govern their internal affairs, but they would no longer possess the military power to threaten others. Human bases would be established in every system to ensure compliance and provide protection. Article 1 establishes the Galactic Defense Force under human command. Park Hye-jin read from the new treaty. "All alien military vessels will be converted to civilian use or integrated into human fleets. No species may develop weapons capable of interstellar warfare without human approval." The aliens listened in stunned silence. They were not being destroyed or enslaved, but their ability to wage war was being permanently removed. It was conquest disguised as protection, but it was also the most stable peace plan any of them had ever seen. Premier Lim Seok-jin appeared via holographic projection from Earth, his presence adding weight to the proceedings. The human leader looked tired, but satisfied as he addressed the assembled aliens. "We did not seek this responsibility," Premier Lim said. "For 3 years we hoped that genuine peace was possible. We offered friendship, cooperation, and mutual respect. Your response was to plan our destruction while pretending to negotiate in good faith." His words carried the weight of absolute truth. The aliens could not deny their betrayal because the humans had recorded every secret meeting, every hidden plan, every moment of deception. "You have taught us that the galaxy requires strong leadership to prevent future wars," Premier Lim continued. "Since you have demonstrated that you cannot be trusted with such power, humanity will bear that burden instead." The logic was unassailable. The alien species had proven themselves unworthy of the military power they possessed by using it for betrayal and attempted genocide. Humanity had demonstrated superior capability in every area that mattered: intelligence, technology, strategy, and moral authority. Admiral Kim Dae-ho stepped forward to address specific concerns about the new order. His tone was professional but carried the implicit threat of the fleets that surrounded every alien world. "Species that cooperate fully with the Terra Accords will find human protection beneficial," he explained. "Your trade routes will be secure from pirates and raiders. Your worlds will be defended against external threats. Your people will have access to human technology and medical advances." But the consequences of resistance were equally clear. Human fleets had demonstrated the ability to appear anywhere in the galaxy without warning. Human technology exceeded anything the aliens possessed. Human intelligence networks had infiltrated every major alien organization. Dr. Choi So-young provided technical details about the integration process. Alien ships would be retrofitted with human technology and staffed by mixed crews. Alien industrial facilities would be converted to produce goods that benefited all species. Most importantly, alien military research would be redirected towards civilian applications. The transition will take 5 years to complete, Dr. Choi explained. During this period, human advisors will work with local governments to ensure smooth implementation. Species that cooperate willingly will receive priority access to new technologies and trade opportunities. The carrot and stick approach was subtle but effective. Cooperation brought benefits that would improve alien societies beyond their current capabilities. Resistance brought the certainty of facing human military power that had already proven irresistible. One by one, the alien leaders stepped forward to sign the Terra Accords. Each signature was a formal acknowledgement that their species now existed under human protection and authority. Some signed with resignation, others with relief that they had survived their failed betrayal. Primarch Veltar was the last to sign, his hand shaking slightly as he wrote his name beneath the human text. "I must ask," he said quietly to Admiral Kim Dae-ho, "how long did you know about our plans?" Kim Dae-ho's response was gentle but devastating. "From the very beginning. Your first secret meeting was monitored. Your initial planning sessions were recorded. We knew everything you intended to do before you fully decided to do it." The revelation crushed the last remnants of alien pride. They had not simply been defeated in battle. They had been completely outmaneuvered by an enemy that had seen through their deception from the first moment they conceived it. As the signing ceremony concluded, Park Hye-jin addressed the galaxy through broadcast networks that reached every inhabited world. Her message would define the new age that was beginning. "Today marks the true beginning of galactic peace," she announced. "Not peace based on mutual fear or balance of power, but peace based on the strength and wisdom of species capable of maintaining it. Humanity did not seek dominance, but we will not shrink from the responsibility that has been forced upon us. The transformation would not happen overnight, but its direction was inevitable. Human ships would patrol trade routes that had once been contested by rival powers. Human technology would spread throughout the galaxy, raising living standards for billions of beings. Human law would replace the chaotic competition that had characterized interstellar relations. But perhaps most importantly, human intelligence networks would ensure that no species could again conspire in secret to destroy others. The kind of betrayal that had led to this moment would become impossible under the new order. Fleet Admiral Hwang Soo-bin, commanding the occupation fleets, reported that all alien military installations had been secured without further resistance. The speed of surrender had surprised even human planners, who had prepared for months of continued fighting. "The alien leaders understand their situation," she explained to Premier Lim during a secure communication. "They see that we could have destroyed them completely but chose restraint. They recognize that cooperation offers a better future than their old system of constant competition and betrayal." As human ships took up positions throughout the galaxy, a new chapter in interstellar civilization began. The species that had dominated through military might now found themselves protected by human strength. The civilizations that had survived through cunning and deception now prospered under human law. Dr. Choi So-young compiled the final reports on the campaign that would be studied by strategists for centuries to come. 3 years of patient intelligence gathering had yielded the most complete victory in galactic history. Humanity had not simply won a war. They had engineered a permanent solution to the problem of interstellar conflict. The peace treaty had indeed been a ruse, but it had been humanity's ruse from the very beginning. While aliens plotted betrayal, humans had planned transformation. While alien leaders schemed for short-term advantage, human strategists had designed a system that would ensure lasting peace. The galaxy was learning to live under human protection, and most species were discovering that it was far better than living under the constant threat of war. The new order would face challenges, but it was built on a foundation of demonstrated capability and moral authority that no previous galactic government had possessed. Humanity had sought peace and been offered betrayal. Fleet Admiral Hwang Soo-bin stood on the bridge of the massive battleship Soul's Pride, watching as 17 different star systems appeared on her tactical displays. Each system showed the same pattern: alien fleets in disarray, their formations broken by human ships that moved like ghosts through space. Phase 4 is now active, she announced to her command staff. All fleet groups are to begin deep strike operations. Target priorities are alien homeworlds and major military installations. Remember, we are not here to destroy civilizations. We are here to remove their ability to threaten humanity ever again. The human counteroffensive had moved beyond simple battles into something far more sophisticated. This was surgical warfare on a galactic scale, designed to end the conflict permanently by demonstrating overwhelming human superiority. Commander Park Hyun-woo led the first boarding operation against a Vorthan command ship. His team wore armor that seemed to flow like liquid metal, adapting to any environment they encountered. The technology was based on Zephyrian biomechanics but improved with human engineering and artificial intelligence. Breach successful, Park Hyun-woo reported as his team cut through the alien ship's hull. Defensive systems are offline. Beginning capture procedures. The Vorthan crew tried to resist, but their weapons could not penetrate the adaptive human armor. Worse, the humans seemed to know exactly where to go and what to target. Within minutes, they had seized control of the ship's main computer and begun downloading tactical data. "How do they know our ship layout so perfectly?" gasped the Vorthan captain as human soldiers secured his bridge. "These are classified military designs." Park Hyun-woo removed his helmet, revealing a calm human face. "We have been studying your technology for 3 years. Every diplomatic meeting, every cultural exchange, every peace negotiation included hidden scans of your equipment. We know your ships better than you do." Similar scenes played out across the galaxy as human boarding teams captured alien vessels with frightening efficiency. The humans did not simply steal the ships. They converted them, installing human technology and turning alien vessels into hybrid weapons that their original creators could not match. Captain Kim Yejin commanded a squadron of stealth destroyers attacking the heavily defended Zephyrian hive world. Her ships moved through space like shadows, invisible to alien sensors until the moment they struck. The technology combined human stealth systems with Vorthan phase shifting and Corvani energy manipulation. "Target the orbital defense platforms first," Kim Yejin ordered her squadron. "Disable, do not destroy. We want those facilities intact for conversion." The Zephyrian defenders fought desperately, but they were fighting an enemy that knew all their weaknesses. Human weapons disrupted the quantum communication links that coordinated hive ship movements. Human jammers interfered with the biological signals that allowed the insect-like aliens to work as a unified organism. Queen Zixara watched from her hive palace as human ships materialized throughout her home system. Her compound eyes tracked dozens of vessels that should not have been able to approach undetected. Her defensive fleets, once the terror of the galaxy, were being systematically neutralized by an enemy that fought like no species she had ever encountered. "Send surrender negotiations to the human fleet," she clicked to her advisors. "Offer them tribute, territory, anything they desire. We cannot fight what we cannot understand." But the humans were not interested in tribute or territory. They had come to deliver a message that would echo across the galaxy for generations to come. Admiral Kim Dae-ho's voice filled alien communication networks, broadcast simultaneously to every world and every fleet. To all alien species who participated in the betrayal of the peace treaty, Kim Dae-ho's calm voice announced, "We want you to understand what has happened today. 3 years ago, when you began planning your deception, we knew. Every secret meeting, every hidden clause in the treaty, every detail of your attack plan was known to us." The words sent shockwaves through alien command centers. The humans had not simply prepared for the betrayal. They had known about it from the beginning and allowed it to happen. "We could have prevented your attack," Kim Dae-ho continued. "We could have exposed your plans during the peace negotiations. But we chose a different path. We chose to let you reveal your true nature and demonstrate why the galaxy needs stronger leadership." Across 17 star systems, alien leaders listened with growing horror as the human admiral explained their situation. Every alien fleet was surrounded and outgunned. Every homeworld was under threat from human ships that had appeared from nowhere. Every technological advantage they had possessed was now in human hands, improved and turned against them. The Vorthan Empire believed their superior technology made them invincible, Kim Dae-ho said. "We have captured your ships and improved your designs. The Zephyrian hive thought their unity made them unstoppable. "We have learned to disrupt your communication and break your coordination." The Corvani Alliance trusted in their ancient weapons. "We have created new defenses that make your energy attacks useless." The psychological impact was devastating. The alien species had not simply been defeated in battle. They had been studied, analyzed, and systematically outmaneuvered by an enemy they had underestimated. Fleet Admiral Huang Subin coordinated the final phase of the operation from her command ship. Human forces had captured or neutralized every major alien military installation within range. The speed and efficiency of the campaign was unprecedented in galactic history. Status: report on all theater commands, she requested from her communications officer. Vorthan home fleet destroyed or captured. Zephyrian hive world secured. Corvani defense grid offline. All secondary objectives achieved ahead of schedule. Human casualties are minimal, but the most important victory was not military. It was the complete collapse of alien morale. Species that had dominated the galaxy for centuries were surrendering without further resistance. The message was clear. Humanity was no longer a minor player in galactic affairs. Dr. Choi So-young, now aboard a research vessel studying captured alien technology, compiled the final intelligence reports. Her 3 years of patient observation had yielded information that transformed human understanding of galactic civilization. The alien alliance was always fragile, she explained to Admiral Kim Dae-ho during a secure communication. Each species believed they were manipulating the others. None of them understood that they were all being manipulated by their own arrogance. The truth was becoming clear to surviving alien leaders. Humanity had not just prepared for war. They had engineered a situation where their enemies would reveal all their capabilities and commit all their forces to a single devastating attack. The peace treaty had been bait in a trap so sophisticated that the aliens had walked into it willingly. Premier Lim Seok-jin, speaking from Earth, addressed the galaxy with humanity's final terms. His message was broadcast on every frequency, translated into every known language, and transmitted to every world that had participated in the betrayal. "The old galactic order is ended," Premier Lim announced. "Species that sought to deceive and dominate humanity have lost the right to threaten others. We offer you a choice. Accept human leadership and live in genuine peace, or face the consequences of continued resistance." The choice was no choice at all. Alien fleets were scattered and defeated. Their technology had been captured and improved by human engineers. Their homeworlds were defended by human ships that they could not match. Most importantly, their confidence was shattered by the realization that they had been outmaneuvered from the very beginning. Commander Park Hyun-woo stood on the bridge of the captured Vorthan flagship, now flying human colors. Around him, alien crew members worked alongside human technicians to convert the ship's systems. The integration was seamless, as if the humans had been planning it for years, because they had. Captain Kim Ye-jin reported successful completion of operations in the Zephyrian system. The hive worlds were intact but under human control. The insect-like aliens had surrendered completely, their unity broken by human technology that disrupted their biological connections. As the galaxy processed the magnitude of humanity's victory, one truth became undeniable. The species that had seemed weak and trusting during peace negotiations had demonstrated the most sophisticated military planning in galactic history. They had turned apparent vulnerability into overwhelming strength through patience, intelligence, and careful preparation. The war was effectively over, but the real work was just beginning. Humanity now had to decide what to do with a galaxy that had learned to fear and respect them in equal measure. The aliens who had sought to make humans into servants had instead created the galaxy's new dominant power. The peace treaty had indeed been a ruse, but not the ruse anyone had expected. Humanity had played a game so complex and so long-term that their enemies never realized they were losing until it was far too late to change the outcome. 3 days after the peace treaty signing, the galaxy's calm was shattered by the largest coordinated attack in recorded history. Across 12 star systems, alien fleets emerged from hyperspace with deadly precision. Operation Silent Extinction had begun. Colonel Bae Jin-woo stood on the command deck of New Seoul Station, watching the sensor displays with growing alarm. Hundreds of Vorthon warships materialized around the colony world, their weapons already charging for the first strike. All defensive platforms, prepare for engagement, Bei Jin-woo ordered into his communicator. His voice carried the right note of desperation that the enemy would expect. Send distress signals to Earth Command. Tell them we need immediate reinforcement. The first wave of alien missiles streaked toward the colony's shields. Explosions lit up the darkness of space as human defenses appeared to crumble under the overwhelming assault. On the planet's surface, evacuation sirens wailed as civilians rushed to underground shelters. Admiral Torvik, commanding the Vorthon attack fleet, watched the battle with satisfaction. The human defenses were folding exactly as predicted. Their orbital stations were taking heavy damage, and their small patrol fleet was already retreating toward the outer system. Humans fight bravely when cornered, Torvik told his bridge crew, but they lack the ruthlessness necessary for true warfare. They will sacrifice tactical advantages to save civilian lives. This weakness makes them predictable, but something felt wrong to the experienced alien commander. The human retreat was too organized, too precise. Their damaged ships were falling back in perfect formation, leading his forces deeper into the system. When his sensors detected human reinforcements arriving, they came from unexpected directions. Lieutenant Commander Yoon Nara led her fighter squadron in what appeared to be a desperate counterattack. Her small ships dove through the alien formation, firing wildly and seemingly causing little damage. But her pilots knew exactly where each alien ship would be, positioning themselves with impossible accuracy. Enemy fighters are being unusually aggressive, reported Torvik's tactical officer. They are accepting heavy losses to press their attacks. What the aliens did not realize was that every human ship they had destroyed was actually transmitting detailed scans of alien vessel designs, shield frequencies, and weapon capabilities. The wild firing patterns were precisely targeted tests, probing for weaknesses in alien defenses. Back on Earth, General Song Min-ho sat in the Sol System Command Center, watching tactical displays that showed battles across multiple star systems. His expression was calm and focused rather than desperate. Around him, human officers worked with quiet efficiency, coordinating what appeared to be a desperate defense but was actually something much more dangerous. Admiral Kim, New Sol reports successful data collection on Vorthon shield harmonics, Song Min-ho said into his secure communicator. Colony 7 has confirmed Zephyrian weapon cycling patterns. All test objectives are being met ahead of schedule. The alien attacks were proceeding exactly according to plan, but not the plan the aliens thought they were following. For 3 years, humanity had been preparing for this moment. Every peace negotiation had been an intelligence-gathering operation. Every battle during the war had been a laboratory to study alien tactics and technology. On the colony world of Haven's Rest, Captain Lee Tae-min commanded the orbital defense grid. His stations took heavy damage from Corvani energy weapons, but the damage was carefully controlled. Each hit provided valuable data about alien firepower and targeting systems. Maintain defensive posture, Lee Tae-min ordered his gun crews. Continue broadcasting distress signals. Make sure they believe we are desperate. The Corvani fleet commander, General Yathara, felt confidence growing as human defenses weakened. These stubborn humans had fought well during the war, but their peaceful nature made them vulnerable to surprise attacks. They simply could not match the cold efficiency of species that had evolved as predators. But across the galaxy, similar scenes were playing out with troubling consistency. Human fleets retreated in good order despite heavy losses. Their defensive positions held longer than expected before falling. Most concerning of all, human commanders seemed to know exactly where alien reinforcements would arrive. Dr. Choi So-young, now aboard a human research vessel hidden in the asteroid belt, analyzed incoming data streams from all 12 battle sites. Her computers processed millions of pieces of information about alien technology, tactics, and capabilities. Fascinating, she murmured to her assistant. The Vorthon ships have a 0.7-second delay between shield modulation cycles. The Zephyrian hive ships coordinate through quantum entanglement, but the signal can be disrupted, and the Corvani energy weapons lose efficiency when firing continuously for more than 40 seconds. Every weakness, every limitation, every tactical pattern was being recorded and analyzed. The aliens thought they were demonstrating their superior military might. In reality, they were providing humanity with a complete technical manual for defeating them. On Luna Base, Admiral Kim Dae-ho reviewed reports from across the galaxy. The alien attack was massive and well coordinated, but it was also exactly what human intelligence had predicted. Every fleet movement, every target selection, every tactical decision had been anticipated and planned for. Phase 2. Preparations are complete, Kim Dae-ho told his senior staff. All data collection objectives have been achieved. Alien fleets are now positioned exactly where we want them. The aliens had made a crucial mistake in their planning. They had assumed that humanity would respond to surprise attacks the same way other species did, with panic and disorganized resistance. They did not understand that humans had been expecting this betrayal from the moment peace negotiations began. As the alien attacks entered their second day, patterns began to emerge that made some alien commanders uneasy. Human resistance was too coordinated across multiple star systems. Their retreat patterns seemed designed to draw alien forces into specific positions. Most troubling of all, human ships that should have been destroyed were still transmitting detailed sensor data. Primarch Veltar, coordinating the overall operation from his flagship, began to feel the first stirrings of doubt. The attacks were succeeding as planned, but something felt fundamentally wrong. Human behavior was not matching their psychological profiles. Report on human fleet movements, Veltar ordered his intelligence officer. All major human fleets are in retreat as predicted, came the reply. However, their withdrawal routes are unusual. Instead of falling back to defensive positions, they seem to be moving toward predetermined coordinates in deep space. Veltar studied the tactical displays with growing unease. The human fleets were not running away in panic. They were moving with purpose, following a plan that the aliens did not understand. On New Sol, Colonel Bei Jinwoo watched the final alien assault waves approach his battered station. His defensive systems were nearly exhausted, and civilian evacuation was almost complete. But his mission was not to win this battle. His mission was to gather intelligence and draw the enemy into position. All stations prepare for final phase, he transmitted on a coded frequency. Primary objectives achieved. Secondary objectives in progress. Ready for Phase 3 on your signal. The aliens believed they were hours away from total victory. They had no idea that they were actually hours away from the most devastating military reversal in galactic history. The peace treaty had been a ruse, but not the ruse they thought they were perpetrating. As alien fleets consolidated their positions around captured human worlds, they felt the satisfaction of a plan perfectly executed. They had caught humanity completely off guard, striking while the humans celebrated peace. The galaxy's most dangerous military force had been neutralized through superior planning and tactics. Admiral Torvek looked out at the wreckage of New Sol's orbital defenses and allowed himself a moment of pride. In just 2 days, the Vorthon Empire had achieved what many thought impossible. They had defeated humanity's legendary military machine through cunning rather than brute force. He had no idea that every move he had made was being watched, recorded and analyzed by human commanders who had been planning for this exact scenario for 3 years. The trap was set, and the aliens had walked into it with complete confidence. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest strength was not their technology or their courage. It was their ability to turn apparent defeat into overwhelming victory through careful preparation and superior intelligence. The real war was about to begin. The Great Hall on Kepler 442b had never seen such a gathering. Representatives from dozens of alien species filled the massive chamber, their strange forms creating a rainbow of colors and shapes. At the center of it all sat the humans, looking small and ordinary compared to the towering Vorthon warriors and the insect-like Zephyrians with their clicking mandibles. Ambassador Park. Heejin smoothed her simple blue dress and smiled at the alien delegates around her. She looked every bit the hopeful diplomat, her eyes bright with what appeared to be genuine excitement for peace. Beside her, Admiral Kim Dae-ho sat quietly in his crisp uniform, occasionally nodding as the aliens spoke in their various languages. "Today marks a new beginning," announced Primarch Veltar, the Vorthon leader whose purple skin gleamed under the chamber's lights. His voice carried the authority of someone who had never been challenged. "The human Vorthon war has cost us all dearly. 3 years of fighting, countless lives lost, entire worlds burned. But now we can move forward together." The other alien leaders murmured their agreement. Queen Zixara of the Hive clicked her approval, her compound eyes reflecting the ceremonial lights. The Corvani delegation, tall and thin like walking trees, swayed gently as they whispered among themselves. Park Hye-jin stood to address the assembly. Her voice was soft but carried clearly through the hall. We humans have learned much during this terrible war. We have seen the cost of violence, the price of misunderstanding. We want nothing more than to live in peace with all species. The aliens exchanged glances. Many of them struggled not to smile. These humans seemed so naive, so trusting. They had fought well enough during the war. But they clearly did not understand the larger game being played. What the aliens did not know was that Dr. Choi So-young, sitting quietly in the human delegation, had been listening to their private communications for months. Her small device, hidden in her sleeve, recorded every whispered conversation, every secret message. She had learned their languages, cracked their codes, and discovered their true plan. The peace treaty was beautiful to look at. Written on synthetic parchment and bound in precious metals, it promised trade agreements, cultural exchanges, and mutual defense pacts. Park Hye-jin read each section aloud, her voice full of hope and wonder. Article 7 states that all species will share their technological advances for the common good, she said. Article 12 establishes the joint colonies where our peoples can learn from each other. But hidden in the complex legal language were other clauses. Restrictions on human shipbuilding, limits on colony expansion, requirements that would slowly strangle human independence. The aliens had written these sections carefully, using words that seemed helpful but would trap humanity in a cage of regulations. Admiral Kim Dae-ho listened to it all with a calm expression. Sometimes he asked simple questions about trade routes or mining rights. He seemed like an old soldier who was happy to let the diplomats handle the talking. But his fingers occasionally tapped patterns on the table, sending coded messages to human ships scattered across the galaxy. As the ceremony continued, alien leaders took turns speaking about friendship and cooperation. Primarch Veltar spoke of sharing the burden of protecting trade routes. Queen Zixara talked about exchanging scientific knowledge. Each speech sounded noble and generous. Park Hye-jin responded to each one with gratitude and enthusiasm. The Vorthan fleet's protection will be so valuable to our merchant ships, she said. And Queen Zixara's offer to help with our agricultural development is incredibly generous. The aliens felt very clever. These humans were walking straight into their trap. Within 10 years, humanity would be completely dependent on alien protection and technology. They would become nothing more than useful servants in the galactic community. Dr. Choi So-young continued her secret recording. She captured Veltar whispering to his aide about the foolish humans and their trust. She heard Zixara's quiet clicks that translated to, "They will make excellent workers for our hives." Every piece of evidence went into her hidden memory devices. The signing ceremony itself was magnificent. Each species performed their traditional rituals. The Vorthans marked the treaty with drops of their purple blood. The Zephyrians coded it with special enzymes from their mouths. The humans simply signed their names with an old-fashioned pen, looking humble compared to the elaborate alien customs. As Park Hye-jin wrote her signature, she spoke softly to Admiral Kim Dae-ho. To the aliens, it looked like she was making small talk about the ceremony. But her words carried important information about fleet positions and timing. "The flowers in the garden outside are beautiful this time of year," she said. This told human commanders that Phase 1 was complete. "I hope we can plant similar gardens on all our worlds." This was the signal to begin moving ships into position. Kim Dae-ho nodded and replied, "The gardeners have been working very hard. They will be ready for the harvest season." His response confirmed that human fleets were prepared and waiting. When the ceremony ended, the alien delegates celebrated among themselves. They had pulled off the greatest trick in galactic history. Humanity, one of the most dangerous military forces they had ever faced, had just signed away their freedom without realizing it. Primarch Veltar raised a glass of Vorthan wine to his fellow conspirators. "In 3 days we begin Operation Silent Extinction. The humans will be celebrating their peace while we destroy their ability to resist. By the time they understand what has happened, it will be too late." The aliens laughed and drank, already imagining the easy victory to come. They had studied human psychology and believed they understood it completely. Humans were emotional, trusting creatures who wanted to believe in the goodness of others. This weakness would be their downfall. But as the celebration continued in the main hall, the human delegation quietly gathered their belongings. Park Hee-jin thanked their alien hosts with genuine warmth, shaking hands and promising to stay in touch. Admiral Kim Dae-ho exchanged respectful nods with alien military officers, discussing future joint exercises that would never happen. Dr. Choi So-young uploaded her final intelligence reports to a quantum transmitter hidden in her luggage. Across the galaxy, human commanders received detailed information about alien fleet movements, battle plans, and weaknesses that had been revealed during months of careful observation. As the human ship departed from Kepler 442b, the three key figures sat together in the conference room. The mask of naive diplomacy finally fell away from Park Hye-jin's face, replaced by cold determination. Kim Dae-ho allowed himself a small smile as he reviewed the positioning of human fleets. Dr. Choi So-young analyzed the final pieces of alien intelligence, confirming what they had suspected all along. The aliens thought they were so clever with their hidden treaty clauses and secret attack plans. They believed they had fooled the simple, trusting humans into walking into a trap. They had no idea that the trap was closing around them instead. Admiral Won Jae-hyuk stood in the command center buried deep within Ceres Station, watching displays that showed alien fleets celebrating their victories across human space. His weathered face remained calm as he studied the tactical situation. Around him, hundreds of human officers worked quietly at their stations, preparing for the moment they had trained for during 3 years of careful planning. "All alien fleets are in position," reported his tactical officer. "They have committed their reserves to occupying captured territories. No significant forces remain in their home systems." Won Jae-hyuk nodded slowly. The aliens had fallen into the trap perfectly. Their overwhelming attack had been successful, but it had also scattered their forces across dozens of star systems. Now they were vulnerable in ways they could not imagine. "Activate the Seoul defense grid," Won Jae-hyuk commanded. "Begin Phase 3 operations." Across the asteroid belt, massive structures that had appeared to be mining operations suddenly revealed their true purpose. Asteroid shells split open like mechanical flowers, exposing hidden shipyards that had been working in secret for 3 years. Thousands of ships emerged from concealment, their hulls gleaming with advanced technology that no alien species had ever seen. Dr. Kang Eun-ji watched from her laboratory as the first of her creations launched into space. For 3 years, she had led humanity's most secret project, reverse engineering every piece of alien technology they had captured during the war. But her team had not simply copied alien designs. They had improved them, combined them, and created something entirely new. "The hybrid drive systems are performing perfectly," she reported to Won Jae-hyuk. "Power output is 40% higher than standard Vorthan engines. The Zephyrian shield generators have been modified to work with our defensive protocols, and the Corvani energy weapons now fire in patterns that their own ships cannot defend against." The new human ships were unlike anything that had ever flown through space. They used Vorthan warp technology combined with human engineering to move faster than any known vessel. Their shields drew power from Zephyrian quantum matrices, but operated on human tactical principles that the aliens had never imagined. Most terrifying of all, their weapons used alien technology against its creators. Captain Shin Dong-hyun commanded the first assault squadron to launch from the hidden shipyards. His ship, the Righteous Fury, looked like a hybrid between human engineering and alien design. But its appearance was deceiving. Every system had been rebuilt from the ground up to exceed alien capabilities. "All ships begin hyperspace insertion," Shin Dong-hyun ordered his squadron. "Target coordinates confirmed. We jump in 30 seconds. The alien fleets around New Seoul were still consolidating their victory when space itself seemed to tear open around them. Captain Shin's squadron emerged from hyperspace not at the system's edge, where ships normally appeared, but directly inside the alien formation. Their modified warp drives allowed them to bypass every known law of space travel. Admiral Torvik stared at his sensors in disbelief. "How did they get there?" "Our gravity sensors show no hyperspace disturbance. It is impossible to jump directly into a gravity well." But the impossible was happening all around him. Human ships materialized throughout his fleet, their weapons already firing. But these were not the same human weapons he had faced during the war. These new guns tore through Vorthan shields like they were made of paper. "Emergency evasive maneuvers," Torvik shouted. "All ships activate defensive protocols." The Vorthon fleet tried to respond, but their own technology was being used against them. The human ships moved with impossible speed and precision, their hulls phasing in and out of normal space. Every time Torovek's gunners locked onto a target, it vanished only to reappear behind them. Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out in every system where alien fleets had claimed victory. The Zephyrian hive ships around Colony 7 found themselves facing human vessels that moved like a single organism, coordinating their attacks through quantum communication, networks that the insects could not jam or intercept. General Yathara of the Corvani watched, her fleet being systematically destroyed by weapons that should not exist. Human ships fired bursts of energy that passed right through her shields, then exploded inside her vessels. It was as if the humans had built guns specifically designed to kill Corvani ships. How do they know our shield frequencies? She transmitted desperately to her surviving captains. How do they know exactly where our weak points are? The answer was simple, though the aliens were only beginning to understand it. For 3 years, every peace negotiation had been an intelligence operation. Every diplomatic meeting had included hidden sensors. Every cultural exchange had been a chance to study alien technology. Humanity had not been preparing for peace. They had been preparing for this moment. Back in the Sol system, Wan Jae-hyuk coordinated the largest military operation in human history. Ships launched from hidden bases on Mars, Europa, and dozens of asteroids that had been hollowed out and converted into secret shipyards. The entire solar system had been transformed into a massive military production center while the aliens thought they were negotiating peace. Fleet Group Alpha is engaging Vorthon forces in the Kepler system, reported his communications officer. Fleet Group Beta has made contact with Zephyrian hives in the Centauri cluster. Fleet Group Gamma is beginning assault operations on Corvani positions. But the most shocking revelation was yet to come. As human fleets spread across the galaxy, they revealed technology that should have been impossible. Ships that could phase through solid matter, weapons that turned alien shield technology into bombs, communication systems that allowed instant coordination across vast distances. Dr. Kang Yunji had not just reverse-engineered alien technology. She had found ways to combine systems that the aliens believed were incompatible. Fourth-hand warp drives powered by Zephyrian quantum matrices, Corvani energy weapons guided by human artificial intelligence, shield systems that drew power from multiple alien technologies working in harmony. The aliens made a fundamental mistake, Dr. Kang explained to her research team as they watched the battle reports. They developed their technologies in isolation, each species following their own path. But humans are natural innovators. We saw connections they never imagined. Captain Lee Tae-min, who had defended Haven's Rest during the alien attack, now commanded one of the new assault ships racing toward the Corvani home system. His vessel carried weapons that the tree-like aliens had never seen before. Guns that could adjust their energy output to match any shield frequency. "Remember," he told his crew as they prepared for battle, "we are not here for revenge. We are here to end this war permanently. Show them what happens when you underestimate humanity." The alien commanders were beginning to understand the scope of their mistake. This was not a desperate human counterattack. This was a carefully planned operation that had been 3 years in the making. Every aspect of the alien betrayal had been anticipated and prepared for. Primarch Veltar, still aboard his flagship near the Vorthon homeworld, received reports that filled him with growing horror. Human fleets were attacking simultaneously across dozens of star systems. They moved with impossible coordination and fought with technology that exceeded anything the aliens possessed. "How many ships do they have?" he demanded of his intelligence officers. "Where did they build them? How did they hide such a massive military buildup?" The answers, when they came, were even more terrifying than the questions. Humanity had been building ships constantly for 3 years, using mining operations as cover. They had developed new technologies by combining alien systems in ways that no single species had ever imagined. Most frightening of all, they had been planning this operation since the very beginning of the peace negotiations. The galaxy was learning a hard lesson about human nature. When humans wanted peace, they prepared for war. When they negotiated treaties, they gathered intelligence. When they appeared weak and trusting, they were actually planning the most devastating military campaign in galactic history. The alien fleets that had felt so confident just hours before now found themselves scattered and outgunned. Their advanced technology had been turned against them by a species they had underestimated. Their careful plans lay in ruins, destroyed by an enemy that had been several steps ahead from the very beginning. As human ships continued to appear across the galaxy, Jae-hyuk allowed himself a small smile. The aliens had taught humanity everything they needed to know about galactic warfare. Now it was time for the final lesson. Never underestimate the species that had crawled up from a single world to challenge the stars themselves.